Tonight, a community is mourning the death of Otis Anderson Jr. He was a star football player at University Christian before moving on to the University of Central Florida and then the NFL's LA Rams. Tonight, his own father facing murder charges for allegedly shooting his son. Our coverage begins this evening with this quote from UCF's athletic director. It says, "A bright sun shines over a special place that makes one pause and think of the many memories that a new angel gave us. We pray and mourn a loss of a life taken far too soon." LA Rams sending their condolences as well, saying that they are saddened by this tragic loss, calling Otis Jr. a promising young man with a bright future.
Police just released details of the overnight shooting. It happened at 5201 Johnson Lake Court on Jacksonville's northwest side. JSO says Anderson Jr. had a gunshot wounds to his chest and his back.
And we're joined now by On Your Side's Tristan Hardy. And Tristan, I know you've spent the day in the neighborhood. What are those you've been talking with telling you tonight?
Well, people around the neighborhood say this whole situation is heartbreaking, especially when you think that according to JSO, this whole story revolves around a dog bite. Well, the people I talked to say that they are shocked to find out what happened and who was involved in the shooting. Otis Anderson Sr. made his first appearance in a Jacksonville courtroom this afternoon. The man you see here in an orange jumpsuit, charged with shooting and killing his son and shooting and injuring his wife.
I find probable cause on both charges.
The arrest report from the Jacksonville Sheriff's Office shows the 52-year-old was upset after he was bit by a dog. The pet belonged to his son's girlfriend. Soon after, Anderson and his wife, Denise, were arguing. The disagreement was so intense, Anderson flipped a reclining chair. And that's when his son, Anderson Jr., showed up to check on his mother. The report goes on to show the father and son argued and then separated. Police say Anderson Jr. was shot in the chest. His mother suffered graze wounds.
The other part is a father and a son. Oh my God, it's really devastating because of the fact that I lost my son.
Carl Jones lives near the Anderson residence. The neighbor shared how his grandson played sports with Anderson Jr. back in high school. The 23-year-old played football at University Christian.
My daughter just called and told me. And he up in Albany State now, so he brokenhearted.
University Christian school officials describe Anderson Jr. as a young man with a bright smile, someone who was exceptional on the football field and in the classroom.
It's a heartbreaking thing at a time like this.
For now, the investigation is ongoing. Now, Otis Anderson's arraignment is scheduled for December 22nd. Our team coverage continues with our sports director, Chris Porter, who has more on Anderson Jr.'s bright life.
Just in the news of Otis Anderson Jr.'s death spread quickly. When I was leaving the gym this morning, one of his former teammates' dad stopped me in tears to share the sad news. This young man touched so many people. Otis played his high school football at University Christian from 2014 until 2017. Otis helped lead the Fighting Christians to back-to-back state titles in 2015 and 2016. He was our Athlete of the Week back in September of 2017. Otis was an undersized running back, but one his former high school football coach David Penley told me would work tirelessly in the gym. Otis went on to play at the University of Central Florida, and most recently he was a member of the Los Angeles Rams practice squad. Coach Penland says Otis left his mark.
An all-around good kid. Would do anything for you on and off the field. I know he came over to my house and helped me move a couple times. He's just, you ask him and he'll do it. He was always at workouts, never missed. Would stay late, kind of had to push him out of the locker room. Just a kid that loved football, loved his teammates, and loved his coaches.
Coming up tonight, all new at 5:30, hear more of my one-on-one conversation with David Penland as the coach shares just how painful this is and the one thing that gives him peace. That's tonight, all new at 5:30.
Thank you, Chris. To stay up to date with all of the latest developments from this story, head to firstcoastnews.com.